Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump has made it clear that Ali Khamenei's son, Mojtaba Khamenei, would be unacceptable as Iran's next leader. In an interview with Axios, Trump said he wants to be personally involved in selecting Iran's next leader, following the assassination of Ali Khamenei. Trump said he wants someone who can bring harmony and peace to Iran. The US-Israeli military campaign against Iran entered its sixth day on Thursday, with residents reporting heavier bombardment across Tehran as tensions continue to escalate. Witnesses said strikes targeted areas in northern parts of the capital, with explosions heard across the city. Residents have described the situation as resembling a war zone as the air campaign intensified. Meanwhile, Iran has also vowed retaliation after the United States sank an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka, killing more than 80 sailors. Iranian officials warned that American forces could be targeted anywhere, saying Washington would regret the attack. Azerbaijan has warned that it was preparing unspecified response measures after a pair of Iranian drones flew across its border and injured 4 people in the Nakhchivan exclave, raising concern about further spillover of the conflict in the Middle East. The Azerbaijani Defense Ministry said in a statement that these attacks will not remain unanswered. It added that it was investigating the types of drones used in the attack and preparing the necessary response measures to protect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the country and to ensure the safety of civilians and civilian infrastructure. Iran has warned that its military will target Israel's Dimona nuclear facility if Israel and the United States attempt regime change in the Islamic Republic. A senior Iranian military official said Tehran would respond decisively to any foreign intervention or conspiracy aimed at toppling the government. The statement highlighted that Iran is prepared to go to any extent to defend its sovereignty and political system. Meanwhile, US and Israeli attacks on Iran intensified overnight, with bombings reported at several locations. According to officials, the number of casualties from the 5-day assault has exceeded 1,045. Iran's ambassador to the United Nations has denied reports that Tehran ordered the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, calling the claims baseless. The envoy said Iran remains committed to international law and freedom of navigation. Iran also condemned the United States for using a submarine to sink the Iranian frigate Iris Dina in international waters, saying the attack violated international law and maritime norms. Russia accuses US and Israel of trying to drag Arab countries into a wider Middle East conflict. Russia has accused the United States and Israel of trying to drag Arab countries into a wider Middle East conflict by provoking Iran into striking targets across the region, and said there was no sign Washington and Tel Aviv would let up. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke by phone to leaders of 4 Arab Gulf states, offering to use Moscow's ties to Iran to relay concerns about Tehran's strikes on oil infrastructure across the region. Arab states in the Gulf, all close US allies, some of which also have close ties with Russia, have come under Iranian drone and missile attacks since the United States and Israel launched their airstrikes on Iran on Saturday. On the other hand, Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem says Israel's strikes on Lebanon are a prepared aggression and demanded that Israeli forces halt military operations and withdraw from southern Lebanon. In his first televised address since the hostilities began, Qassem said Hezbollah would not surrender, no matter the sacrifices. The World Health Organization says it has verified 13 attacks on healthcare facilities in Iran during the ongoing US-Israeli campaign. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said 4 healthcare workers have been killed and 25 others injured. Hospitals and medical sites have also suffered damage from nearby strikes, according to the agency. WHO officials warned that humanitarian supply chains are now at risk, with aid operations disrupted by insecurity, airspace closures, and restrictions near the Strait of Hormuz. China will boost defense spending by 7% in 2026, the lowest rate in 5 years, but still outpacing wider economic growth targets and the rest of Asia, at a time of growing regional tension, including over Taiwan. Premier Li Qiang said at the opening of Parliament's annual meeting that China will improve combat readiness and accelerate the development of advanced combat capabilities. He said in his work report, all these steps will boost Qin's strategic capacity to safeguard its sovereignty, security, and development interests. And Britain has announced withdrawing housing and financial support from asylum seekers who break the law, work illegally, or can support themselves under new government measures. Interior Minister Shabana Mahmood said the reforms aim to tighten the asylum system. The plan includes closing asylum hotels and offering failed asylum seekers up to £40,000 per family to leave the country voluntarily. The government will also shorten refugee residence permits to 2.5 years and introduce stricter visa controls. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.